Well, it's martini time again, and I'm so happy because a friend of mine gave me some money this morning, and I bought another bottle of Beefeater's gin. So that's a good martini. Now, my uncle is a martini priest, and he used good gin and just a little bit of vermouth and in a lemon twist. And so we bought some lemons today, so I have a lemon twist. So I feel like I've restored the sacrament. So often we water the sacrament down, like the Protestants did, and they use grape juice and little funny wafers instead of wine and bread. We water the sacrament down. And so I'm good to have restored the sacrament to its original purity, as my uncle, the martini priest, taught me. So, last night, or 2 nights ago, I was talking about the monkey around my neck. Remember that? You remember that talk? Go back and find that talk. So that talk was about a monkey around your neck is a double bind. You can't, if you notice this monkey, what I like about it, this is a massage monkey, and if you turn it on, you want to get it off. So it's got a head and a tail. So a monkey around your neck is a metaphor for when you get caught in a double bind. And a double bind is when no matter what you do, you lose. And we need to be able to recognize them. Now, last night I talked about a double bind. It was on the curb your doorknob. And so the double bind, just to refresh, was that a good friend sent we have an antique house. Well, it's 100 years old. So all the doorknobs are antique. So she sent a doorknob to replace it in the bathroom. But it's a modern doorknob. And so I didn't want to tear the whole door up. So, but my wife wanted to do it, double bind. Couldn't get out. So today I got out, and I'll whisper. Where's my speaker? Oh, here it is. Okay. I'll whisper, maybe, so she won't hear. You see. So I'm going to order an antique doorknob. Because the door already has the holes for it, you see. It's just the doorknob is missing. So this way I'll get to put in a proper doorknob, and I won't have to be manipulated into tearing up the door. So I feel really liberated today. But let's talk about that, because when you get in a double bind, this is an opportunity. It's potential, and it's going to go in two different ways. It's going to go to violence, passive aggressive, foot dragging. You do it, but you're half-assed about it, or you feel like you're being pulled into it, or you're pulling back and you end up in a squabble, and then you screw up the project and you wish you never got in it. That's the violence. But the creative, so it can either go creative, and in creative you suddenly see a new idea that incorporates or contains the head and the tail of the monkey. So the head and the tail of the monkey is that I want to put a doorknob on there. It needs a doorknob, but I don't want to put on a modern doorknob. But I didn't know that was the problem until I realized that I could get a proper antique doorknob. I went to the hardware store today, and they gave me a website where I can order one. So I can order a proper doorknob that will stay consistent with the doors in the house, and the holes are already there. I won't have to tear the door up, and then if you put a modern doorknob on an old door, it doesn't look right. So, and yesterday when I was imagining how this skit would work out, the Curb Your Enthusiasm, so the whole thing, you would end up, I can imagine thing. So you go through the whole thing and you tear the door up, and I'm at the hardware store buying a whole new door. A modern door. So then you got an old house with a modern door. So anyway, just a light went off today, boom. And I've restored my center. So I restored, just like I described here, when you restore the martini to its pure form, so you haven't watered it down, and you kind of like feel, this is not quite right. I don't know what it is. And, well, I'll tell you what it is. When you drink cheap gin, has a little bit of a lighter fluid quality to it. You don't want to smoke and drink cheap gin. So, but then the other side of it, if there's real good gin, you drink too much of it. So, anyway. But the point I hope here is that everyday mind is Zen mind. And everyday mind is full of little Zen cones. And they're either going to go double binds. That's what a Zen cone is. It's double bind. If you choose this, you're wrong. If you choose that, you're wrong. You see. These are potentials. Schrodinger's cat. Remember that story? Became famous in the Big Bang Theory. Schrodinger's cat is that if you put a cat in a box with a radioactive pill, you don't know when it'll go off, and you close the box, you don't know if the cat is alive or dead until you open the box. So a cone or a double bind is like that. You don't know if it's going to be destructive and ruin your life and your relationship, or if it's going to be a creative idea that restores your life and your relationship. You see? Every double bind. And life is ironic. Life is a double bind. We don't think it. We get going when everything's going my way, all the lights are good, no problem, you see. But then suddenly we're stuck in a double bind again, lose-lose. And then we get angry. Anger restores our center, but it just keeps on self-destructing. Anger does not create unity. So what we're interested in here is discovering unity in the double bind. The double binds give birth to either violence or a new idea that restores unity. So this little doorknob thing that I'm playing with, is kind of simple and everything, but it really is a profound truth. And that's what I'm talking about, that your everyday mind has profound truth in it. You see, you don't have to go to the philosophers and the big things and all that. You see, it's right in there in your everyday mundane life. You see, it's all there. And the key, I found, is understanding and seeing when you're caught in a double bind. Because a double bind is ambiguity. Oh, no, wow, which one? Heads or tail? I don't know. And if you don't know, and if you can't choose, you lose center, you lose certainty, you lose yourself, you see. And that creates a feedback loop. Wow, wow, wow. When you stick a microphone up against the amplifier, it goes wow, 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 wow. Turn it off, you see. You want to turn the double bind off. So we usually turn it off by going violent or having a creative idea that restores unity. Having a creative idea that restores unity. But you can't have the creative idea unless you see the absurdity of the double bind. You can't have the creative idea which comes out of the double bind unless you see the irony of the double bind, that there's no escape. Unless you see there's no escape, that you're trapped in a straitjacket, no matter what you do, you're trapped, you see. Unless you see that, unless you see it through and through, that you cannot escape. Even anger is no escape. Suicide is no escape. There is no escape from the double bind. So it pushes you like on the end, on the end of the pirate's plank. The double bind pushes you towards the end of the pirate's plank. You know the old story? Then you have to step off. And when you step off, you see, you step off into, there's a surrender to the double bind. I can't escape. And it becomes absurd. So there's a laughter there. There's a little Buddha smile behind it. And then the creative idea can come up that restores unity, that everybody wins. My wife wins. My person who gave me the gift wins. I win. And the house wins. It's Las Vegas. The house always wins. Thanks for dropping in. See you tomorrow.